There are very few highways in modern India which are better than the one that connects Delhi and Agra. The new highway, also known as the Yamuna Expressway. This 160-kilometer stretch of road extending from Delhi via Noida to the famed land of the Taj Mahal can easily be covered in just over 2 hours.
And of course, it becomes all the more fun when you find yourself in the driver's seat of a car like the one I'm driving. Open highways, a beautiful car. What more could you want on a road trip?
The new Mercedes-Benz C-Class is one of the finest sedans on roads today. It's fast, it's luxurious, and of course, it's a beauty to look at from any angle you choose.
And when you're behind the wheel of a car like this, you can't help but feel like you rule the road. The power delivery is seamless, the engine is so smooth, and the car really holds the road well. It's truly just a fabulous car to drive.
I'm on my way to Allahabad from Delhi, a distance of 650 kilometers, which will take me via the Yamuna Expressway to what used to be known as the Grand Trunk Road in Kipling's language. It then became Sher Shah Suri Marg, and now in more mundane language it's referred to as NH2. At this time of year, the scenery is spectacular. Mustard fields surround you much of the way. Finally, I find myself leaving the highway to enter the city of Allahabad. According to ancient Indian mythology, Brahma, the god of creation, is thought to have landed on earth in Allahabad, or Prayag as it was originally known, and to have called it the king of all pilgrimage centers. It's thus the most celebrated of India's 4 Kumbh Mela locations, and the riverbanks here attract millions of pilgrims.
From a car to a boat. Surprised? Well, after a 9-hour drive from Delhi, it was quite long but so scenic. There were these beautiful fields all around, great roads. It's just such a lovely time of year to be driving. Well, I've now reached Allahabad and I'm on a boat because it just so happens that my trip coincides with the annual Magh Mela held in Allahabad every January. You've probably heard of the Kumbh Mela, which takes place every 12 years. Well, the Magh Mela takes place every year right on the banks of the Ganges, and I thought it ought to be my first stop in Allahabad.
A boat ride on the river is a must-do in Allahabad, if not for religious reasons, then at least for the enjoyable experience it offers. The beautiful waters of the Yamuna, a nice fresh breeze, and scores of birds diving into the water make it feel like a dream. You also catch a glimpse of the magnificent fort on the riverbank. It was built by Akbar in the 15th century. It's still pretty much intact and looks formidable even after 600 years.
This is the most holy spot. Guess why? Well, it's the confluence of the 3 rivers, the Ganga, the Yamuna and the mythical Saraswati. And it's here that the hundreds of thousands of pilgrims come to take a dip in the water to wash away their sins. And I really think it takes a brave soul to get into the water at these temperatures. And I think it's dreadfully cold. But for these people, well, perhaps it's their ticket to heaven. Me? I'm not brave enough yet.
This is the place for the holy dip, the confluence of rivers. Here you can see the Yamuna with its silvery green waters merging into the Ganga. The Ganga then continues to flow all the way to Ganga Sagar, where it meets the Bay of Bengal. But the Yamuna ceases here. What about the Saraswati, you may ask? The answer is exactly what I said earlier. This is a mythical river, and today you can't really see it, but for believers it does flow somewhere deep underground, unseen to human eyes. After all, this is a business of faith, and the reason for this annual Mela is just this.
After a rather inspiring visit to the Magh Mela, which incidentally along with the Kumbh Mela is the major draw for tourists in Allahabad, I still have lots left to see because this city has plenty to offer. So I'm off to the next place on my itinerary. If you look back into the history of India's freedom struggle, you'll notice that Allahabad is actually an extremely significant place because it's here that lies the Nehru family's ancestral home. And that's exactly where I am right now. This is Anand Bhavan. And in fact, Jawaharlal Nehru and Mahatma Gandhi took many important decisions here pertaining to the overthrow of the British Raj. It's also where Indira Gandhi spent much of her childhood, and she got married here. So it's truly a magnificent home to visit, especially if you're interested in the politics and history of India. I'm looking forward to checking it out.
This was a house built by Motilal Nehru, the father of the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru. It's a house famous for many meetings held with stalwarts of the freedom movement, including Mahatma Gandhi, Jinnah, and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel.
Where I am right now was for many years known as the Company Garden, but it's been renamed the Shaheed Chandrasekhar Azad Park after the freedom fighter Chandrasekhar Azad, who became a martyr here. And now what this place really is a green belt right in the heart of the city. And you can literally feel how clean the air is here. It's just so fresh and beautiful. There's acres of greenery, these beautiful large trees that are many years old. And if you come here in the morning or in the evening, you're likely to see many local people taking their morning walks. And it's no surprise because it's just such a beautiful place to be. Truly, it's what every city needs.
Allahabad is also a place of great learning and culture and has been the alma mater of many achievers, including prime ministers and Bollywood superstars. Allahabad University was known as the Oxford of the East, and the magnificent structure still stands tall. Allahabad, like many places in India, is struggling to mix modernity with its rich cultural past. While you see many new structures coming up, it also has a mix of historical buildings and a rich cultural legacy, and this is what endears the city to me. It's a place where the past meets the future in a very positive way, infusing it with new energy. And if you drive around, you're bound to discover not only lovely modern buildings, but also some historical ones, including the Allahabad High Court building, which is very impressive, and of course some colonial churches and educational institutions. It's lots of fun to just drive around the city. The new Mercedes C-Class, which looks absolutely stunning, made heads turn wherever we went, but for me the enjoyable part was that even inside the city the car was easy to drive and maneuver, and the light steering made turning such a breeze.
This has been just such a fascinating trip. I've gotten to discover a part of India that's so steeped in history and yet still so relevant. Allahabad is truly a beautiful city and it has lots to offer in terms of places to see, but I think it's particularly worth a visit, especially if you're interested in spirituality. It was such a special experience to witness the Magh Mela as well as to see the confluence of the Ganga and the Yamuna. It's all in all been just a wonderful trip for me, And what's more, I've had this fantastic travel companion. I couldn't have asked for a better car than the C200. She's just beautiful to look at. She's so powerful and so smooth. And I'm looking forward to driving her some more to Banaras on the show next week. So I hope you'll be joining us.